Hi everyone, this is Sampatram. Welcome to my channel. This is again a weekly video on technical analysis based on market profile as well as candlesticks patterns for the S&P 500 futures. The ticker symbol is ES. So let's get right into it of what happened last week and what could potentially happen for next week. So let's start with November 18th, which was last Friday. So this was the price action of last Friday where we had closed, and then I had projected that if we close below the 4-day balance low, then we would end up going lower. However, within the balance zone of 4-day balance low and 4-day balance high, it's going to be choppy, which is what happened most of this week. And it was a pretty short week. Only 3 days were having regular trading hours, which means from 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That would be 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, without further ado, let's jump. Let's jump to see what happened. So on Monday, we had opened within last Friday's range, and then we ended up closing where we had opened. Although we looked below the 4-day balance zone again, but then we closed where we opened. And then the following day, in the overnight session, we had gapped up, and so we had retested the gap. We filled the gap, then closed almost near the high of the day, creating 3 sets of single prints, which we didn't fill them yet. So on Tuesday, what happened? So yeah, this was Monday, and this was Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, this week, we had again formed sort of like a P profile. So generally when you have a P profile and the high of the P profile breaks, you generally see a short squeeze, meaning all the people who have shorted on that day when the profile is P, and if the high of the day breaks, all their stop losses gets taken out. And so you would see an impulsive effect, something like this. So it was P profile on Tuesday, and then once the P profile broke, you see what happened. Like price never retraced all the way back down. It kept going higher and higher and higher and closes all the way near the high of the day. That's what generally happens when P sort of profile forms and then the high breaks. So we had almost touched the high of the 4-day balance. We had closed below the 4-day balance high again. So what essentially has happened was, so we looked below the balance, we couldn't trade below the balance, so we targeted the other end of the balance. That is generally how balance rule works. Like when one side or the other fakes out, it will target the other end of the balance zone. So now for this week, after Wednesday, I had merged all the profiles into one profile, is because Thursday and Friday were only half days that were traded in the regular trading hours time zone because of the Black Friday and Thanksgiving. So for Monday, the same rules are still applicable, which means that if the Wednesday high is broken above, then we will target 40.55 on the upside. If not, then again we are back into the choppy zone where we can even possibly retest the 4-day balance low again after filling these single prints. So same set of rules apply, balance rules. The key levels that I would be looking out for are 4039.5 and 3951 for next week. So that's it based on the candlestick. That's it based on the market profile analysis. Let's get into candlestick based analysis. So again, a top-down approach. Let's start with the monthly chart. So let me move to monthly chart. 1 month. So monthly chart hasn't closed yet. So today is November 25th, Friday. So we are trending higher on monthly time frame because we are trading above prior month's high. Let's look at weekly. So monthly is bullish. Now let's look at weekly. Weekly is So we are trading within prior week's range still. So last week when I was mentioning that the weekly close is bearish, so our this week's close is fully within prior week's range. So it is still sort of like a balancing choppy zone kind of. So next week we'll decide whether we want to break out or break down. It's going to be an interesting week next week. So weekly is balancing time frame. Sorry, weekly time frame is balancing. Balancing means like choppy zone and staying within prior week's range. So let's go to daily. So daily is slightly bearish based on the close. Let's see. So prior day's low is 4037.25 and today's close is 4034.25. So slightly bearish on the daily perspective. So let's see how it goes. So we got a mixed signals again this week as well, where monthly is bullish, weekly is balancing, and then the daily is bearish. However, based on market profile, we know that if we are trading back within the balance zone, it's going to be in the choppy area again. But there are several weak levels that could potentially get repaired the next week, which means these non-excess lows, and then the poor high, then the poor high in the overnight session. So these things can get cleared out next week, because this profile is very prominent P profile. So keep an eye out. So if the P profile high breaks, then again we would get a short squeeze. So we might at least retest 4077 as well if we break out of the 4-day balance high and continue going higher. So we have a gap high until 4127. Sorry, 4103. My bad. So these are the levels for next week, guys. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, if you find it informational, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments on the videos, and I would be happy to answer them. Just as a short summary for today. So the following week, based on the market profile analysis, which is this chart which you are seeing right now, it's going to be balancing. We are trading within the balance zone, so it's going to be choppy. But if you see a breakout or a breakdown, you simply want to go in that direction, if it happens. And then based on the candlestick patterns on daily chart, it's bearish. And then weekly is balancing, meaning we are trading within prior week's range. So that's balancing, meaning choppy. And then on monthly time frame, we are trading above prior month's high. So next week's close is going to be very important of where the monthly chart is going to end. If we are going to close within prior month's range, then it's going to be very bearish for December. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for watching again, and have a nice day. Trade safe. Bye bye.